Jesus Christ is risen today. Hallelujah. Earth and heaven in chorus say, Hallelujah. Praise Lord, joys and triumphs high. Hallelujah. Sing ye heaven and earth reply. Hallelujah. Love's redeeming work is done. Hallelujah. Fought the fight, the battle won. Hallelujah. Death and grave from its rise. Hallelujah. Christ has opened paradise. Hallelujah. Hearts are strong and voices sing. Hallelujah. Where, O death, is now thy sting. Hallelujah. As his God his truth to save. Hallelujah. Where thy victory all pray. Hallelujah. So we now where Christ has led. Hallelujah. Living at the mercy saved. Hallelujah. Made like him we rise. Hallelujah. Ours the cross, the grave, the skies. Hallelujah.
This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound and light and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. This day has been waiting with open arms just for you. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. Welcome, everybody. My name is Reverend Joseph Boyd, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you into this special virtual space here at 1105 Elm Street in one of the best cities in the world, Youngstown, Ohio. I welcome all of you on this beautiful Easter morning in Youngstown, and I hope that you're in a place of ease and comfort in your home or in your car, or even if you're out and about. I hope you're with loved ones, and you are with loved ones, even if you're alone, because you are with us. I welcome all of you, all our locals who have kept this church alive for decades here in Youngstown and across the Mahoning Valley in Trumbull County, our members in Meadville, Pennsylvania, Hermitage, Pennsylvania, Columbiana County. We love you very much. And I welcome all of you who happen to be tuning in this morning or viewing us on Facebook Live or viewing us later on YouTube, our friends in California, Oregon, South Carolina, Colorado, New York City. And a special shout out to all our international friends who are joining us in the Dominican Republic, Brazil, Europe, Australia. We welcome you into this sacred space. And it's so good to be with you. Easter is one of my favorite Sundays, and I'm really looking forward to delivering a message that I hope will provoke some very good conversation and kindness with our community and with your family. So the question that I'd like to ask that will guide us as we go into service, and then later we'll have a 7-minute brief breakout session to discuss, is the question, what is the difference in your experience of being with someone rather than just near them? What is the difference in your experience between being with somebody rather than just near them? So I'm really looking forward to engaging in that topic with you this Sunday. We have many events happening at the church other than Sunday service that we welcome you to join and be part of. If you haven't yet already given your collage, you still have time to do so. You can deliver that to the church at 1105 Elm Street in Youngstown, Ohio. Kathy Caget, Linda Moan, and Jim Rogers have been organizing a collage of all of our collective experiences during the year of COVID-19. And this could be an expression of your experience. It could be a poem, it could be a picture, it could be something that made you think of this year that you want to remember, something that gave you hope, strength, something that saw you through. There are lots of ways to express yourself, and we're looking for a 6x6 expression of that. I love poetry, so often I'll find a poem that really speaks to me, or I'll write one myself, and I've seen some beautiful poetry from some of you who have written something for that collage. So if you haven't done so already, we would love to include you. This is actually going to be an installation in our physical church to remind us of this year and of the great power of hope and love in all seasons and all circumstances. I also invite you to offer a submission for our Giveaway the Plate recipient. So if you've never been to one of our services, we do something very special here. Typically, a church will take a percentage of the offering. We are a very generous congregation, and we really believe and practice abundance. And so we give 100% of what you give us to a community organization in the Mahoning or Trumbull County area that is doing good. Again, 100% of your money goes directly to that community organization. And we're looking for recipients for 2021 that you think might be worthwhile to give 100% of our donations. So it's a very big deal, and it's a great opportunity. And so if you know of an organization that you think would be worthy to give 100% of our offering to, you can contact Sarah Lowry or the office at office@UUYO.org, and you can submit your recommendation for an organization that is aligned with love and justice. And my final announcement is the city of Youngstown has been asking church communities lately if they will help vaccine our communities. And one of the ways they're looking for that help is for members of congregations to help with vaccination, help transport people who don't have transportation to vaccination sites, and also possibly using our church space as a vaccination site in our neighborhood so that people don't have to walk very far or go very far. It was a last-minute ask, and to be able to do it properly and safely, we're looking for help, fellow people who might want to help in that endeavor, and help think through how we can do that safely and effectively if we do it. And I think it's worthwhile if we can try to do it. And so if you happen to live in the Youngstown area or within the vicinity of Youngstown, if you just want to put your name down in the chat box and vaccine, Linda Moan, who's our hospitality coordinator, will see your name, and we'll have a chance to speak with you and brainstorm together how we might be able to offer something to our community that will help them to get vaccinated if they wish to do so. And now I'd like to go to Jennifer Ruth Boyd for our chalice lighting this morning.
As many of you know, I participated in a virtual reading of the play, The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, this weekend. In these early days of spring, which to me are about new beginnings, new life, and first steps, this virtual reading was a first in several ways for me. I have been a performer practically since I learned to walk, and a professional actor since my early 20s, but this was the first time I'd also worn the hat of producer in bringing this reading to life. This was the first time that Joseph and I had put together an offering that connected each of our paths, religion and theater. And this was the first time I made that jump from working in theater to bringing the spirit of theater into the technological tools that have both exhausted and sustained us during this pandemic, such as Zoom, Twitch. Funny how such peculiar words now just easily fall off the tongue. One extraordinary thing about life, which I am becoming more and more aware of, is how everything you do feeds into everything else, becomes everything else. A theater actor moves into film, then into live stream. A singer learns to record themselves using their smartphone. A recent board president becomes a Zoom wizard. And suddenly you have a virtual play reading, a virtual choir, a virtual worship service. Being part of the play reading has been one of my absolute highlights of this very strange and in some ways very difficult year. Theater is magical because it is like life, ephemeral, changeable, completely in and of the moment, and shared by people, actors, stage crew, and audience who gather together in one particular place and time. With virtual theater, you miss out on the shared hush of the crowd as the lights dim, but your stage expands to include artists and audiences from around the world. If that isn't magical, I don't know what is. I want to give a special shout out to the UUYOers that gave of their talents and time as part of our cast of The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. Lisbeth White, who came to me to suggest that we do this brilliant play in the first place. Lola Lewis, Melissa Smith, and John Chartle. I really hope you got a chance to view their truthful, wonderful performances. We light this chalice in honor of truth, wonder, and the magic of virtual community.
Please join me in the reading of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
We give to an organization that supports transformation in our community, which is the heart of our mission. In our church's historic commitment to the well-being of our community, we give 100% of our offering to those in need. UUYO's Give Away the Plate recipient for April is Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition. The Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition is a social justice organization created to address the impact of racism on African American disparities, including policy inequities, historical trauma, food insecurity, research, behavioral health and addiction, health promotion by working to empower, educate, and advocate for health equity in underserved communities. Here is a video showing you the great work that they do.
When I was 6 years old, and I promised that I would use my life to help change the lives of others.
Decades later, Yvanka Hall is just as passionate about that promise.
This has been a labor of love.
Using her organization, Northeast Ohio Black Health Coalition,
Hi there, thank you for coming out to deliver with us today.
to get healthy food
Breakfast items, lunch, snacks.
Here you go.
into the hands
Oh, wonderful.
of dozens of families in Cleveland.
There's so many that live in food deserts, that don't have transportation, that are unable to get healthy foods.
Once a month, volunteers like LaVon Williams
My soul feeds off of being able to help others that are in need.
drive down Yvanka's driveway
Hello.
to pick up a month's worth of food that's distributed to 50 families.
It costs us about $10,000 a month.
What's amazing about this outreach is that it truly is a community effort. With no major funding, Yvanka relies on donations, whether it's cash or a carton of eggs that people can put in this fridge she has out on her back porch.
Since the start of the pandemic,
Receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Easter. can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds, they had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. And all of those bad feelings, they've disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds, they had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, oh such a bright, sunshiny day.
Please join me in a brief time of meditation. If you happen to be sitting, you can just straighten your spine a little bit. Not too stiff, but just enough to feel like you're awake. If you're lying down, just notice your breath. Or if you're walking, or doing an errand, or driving even, just notice the feeling of breathing, the experience of where your fingers are touching if you're touching an object. And we're going to just do this for a few minutes with everyone.
Jesus makes his way to Judas. He speaks to us. Right now, I am in Fallujah. I am in Darfur. I am on 63rd and Park having dinner with Ellen Barkin and Ron Perlman. Right now, I'm on Lafayette and Astor, waiting to hit you up for change so I can get high. I'm taking a walk through the Rose Garden with George Bush. I'm helping Donald Rumsfeld get a good night's sleep. I was in that cave with Osama and on that plane with Mohammed Atta. And what I want you to know is that your work has barely begun. And what I want you to trust is the efficacy of divine love if practiced consciously. And what I need you to believe is that if you hate who I love, you do not know me at all. And make no mistake, who I love is every last one. I am every last one. People ask of me, where are you? Where are you? Verily, I ask of you to ask yourself, where are you? Where are you?
My mind is clearer now. At last, all too well, I can see where we are, soon will be. If you strip away the myth from the man, you will see where we all soon will be. Jesus! You've started to believe the things they say of you. You really do believe this talk of God is true. And all the good you've done will soon be swept away. You've begun to matter more than the things you say. Listen, Jesus, I don't like what I see. All I ask is that you listen to me. And remember, I've been your right-hand man all along. If you have set them all on fire, they think they found the new Messiah. And they'll hurt you when they find they're wrong. I remember when this whole thing began. No talk of God, then we called you a man. And believe me, my admiration for you hasn't died. But every word you say today gets twisted round some other way. And they'll hurt you when they think you've lied. Nazareth, your famous son, should have stayed a great unknown like his father carving wood. He'd have made good tables, chairs, and oaken chests. Would have suited Jesus best. He'd have caused nobody harm, no one alarm. Listen, Jesus, do you care for your race? Don't you see we must keep in our place? We are occupied. Have you forgotten how put down we are? I am frightened by the crowd. We are getting much too loud. It'll crush us if we go too far. If we go too Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. Please remember that I want us to live. But it's sad to see our chances weakening with every hour. Your followers are blind. Too much heaven on their minds. It was beautiful, but now it's sour. Yes, it's all gone sour. Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. Please remember that I want us to live. You're not listening. You're not listening.
There seems to be a promise embedded in all of us and all existence that comes to fruition this time of year. I know many of you may be gathering with family or friends this weekend, grandkids, and those that you haven't seen for quite a long time, perhaps. I know some of you celebrated Passover, a celebration of liberation from bondage, and a time to celebrate the power of being together as one people. It is very good to be here with you this morning. This congregation, all of you, have shown me the true power of togetherness, of traveling together through all experiences, all seasons, all joys. You have shown me again and again that there is a promise in this moment that can be appreciated in all moments if we have the support of the right conditions, the right people to notice it. We are here for a short time in the scheme of things. It is very easy for opportunities to be lost. It is easy to forget to notice this promise. But time and time again, I have been brought back to this promise by all of you. It's the promise of new life. It's the promise that in this life we are living now, there is something new and beautiful taking shape, if we can notice it. Here in Youngstown, we've had a period of warm weather when the daffodils have come into full bloom. And in the last few days, we've had snow and freezing temperatures. I took a walk and checked on the daffodils to see how they were doing after the last freeze. And they are still there. Some a little droopy from the cold, but still alive, beautiful, and radiant. It reminded me that each of us is completely alive. No matter the mood or circumstance, we are completely alive. completely here. Even in ill health, we are completely alive. Completely here. I feel so fortunate to have the opportunity to live in this great city, a city that is completely alive, completely here. It continues to be a rich experience to travel with all of you and get to know some of you. All these people that are completely alive, completely here. Often we can measure our life in comparison to some imagined life, some life that we think is better, more alive, more radiant. We may imagine a life when we are healthier, more successful, more attractive, more anything. But the truth is, we are, each of us, completely alive, completely here. It is the most ordinary thing. It is not rare. It is common to all of us. It is so common that we might forget to notice it. We are completely alive, completely here. The more we notice it, the more strange and wonderful that experience becomes. It is strange because it is always new. Our life is always new. We are always becoming. Today is a good day. It is a good day, not just because many of us are going to have a wonderful day and a wonderful afternoon that we planned, even if we have nothing planned, even if we're feeling a little blue or subdued. It is a good day. It is a good day because we are completely alive, completely here. We didn't earn this. As I've said, it is not rare. It is common. We have that in common with each other. We have it in common with the daffodils. We have that in common with a world that is celebrating the power of hope and love in the face of death this weekend. We are celebrating, noticing, wondering with billions of people at this very moment. We are here with women who are putting on their colorful hats on this day. All people that are awake with expectation on this day, whether they're religious or not. We are also here with all the people who are praying for their daily bread, praying to get through the day with some kind of sustenance and shelter. We are here with all the families that are aware of someone missing this Easter. We are here with persons that are celebrating, persons that are grieving, and persons that are attempting to do both at the same time. If we can allow ourselves to take a breath and realize we are completely here, completely here with all these people, the promise is ours. The promise of life that is renewing itself with every breath, every time we take the time to notice it. I notice that the world is shifting and that I am shifting. I look ahead and I see the possibility of seeing all of you in person at some time. The board of our church is being very mindful and careful in coming up with a reopening plan. And I'm so proud of our leadership for keeping in mind the most vulnerable among us in every single decision that we make. We plan to share this with you in the near future, and we will continue to be committed to your safety and your well-being. This year, we've had the opportunity to engage a play called The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. I know some of you have had the opportunity to see it. And in that piece is a powerful monologue from one of the characters, Jesus of Nazareth. In the monologue, Jesus says, he's in many places all at once. He's in Fallujah, Darfur. He's comforting the powerful in Washington, D.C. And he's also with the vulnerable. I can see why Jesus could be difficult to be in relationship with sometimes. He embodied this promise of new life. And new life is always unexpected, common to everyone, but easily missed and not appreciated. In the play, we had an opportunity to feel compassion for Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver and then fell into panic and despair after realizing what he had done. In the Gospels, one of Jesus' last words is, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." I think this directly applies to Judas, and it applies to us. I think many of us have had the experience of feeling lonely and forsaken, lost and confused. I know many, including myself, have lost sight of the common miracle that we are completely alive, completely here. We've forgotten to let that appreciation guide our behavior rather than react to circumstances not being what we want. I really feel for Judas. Judas and others saw in Jesus a leader who would solve all their earthly problems through sheer force and determination. Judas and others were looking for liberation through political and military means, a liberation from cruel occupation from Rome. I don't think anyone can blame them for that. Many today are seeking liberation from American empire, an economic and social caste system that makes people disposable. And I don't think that's wrong. I have compassion for anyone who wants to be free from violence. But like new life, like a daffodil in a freeze, Jesus' message was powerful, but also subtle. Sometimes so subtle that I think it's very easy to miss. The liberation that Jesus offered was not political expediency or military might. Jesus was a very poor politician, actually. Jesus reminded his disciples, including Judas, of something very natural, very common, and very true. His mission was not just to be near each and every person, but with each and every person and creature. This difference might seem subtle on the surface, but the difference between these two ways of being is where the promise is revealed to us. In our life, most of us live near people. We may live in a neighborhood, a city, a country, where we are relatively near many different kinds of people and circumstances. We can go to the grocery store and wait in line near people, even if we're 6 feet away. We drive on the road near other cars. Even with our loved ones and our families, we can sit near them, travel near them, sleep near them. But there is a world of difference between being near and being with. Living with each other is when we awaken to the fact that we are completely alive, completely here, along with everyone else. It is a radical shift when we allow ourselves to experience the truth of reality. We are living with everyone, not near everyone. When we live near someone, we want that person to function only to fulfill our desire. We want them to be our liberator, our Messiah, according to our own definition and terms. When we live near someone, we often want them to do what we think is good, help us banish what we think is bad, and give us what we imagine happiness and fulfillment to be. Most of us, including myself, can live like this nearly all the time. We look to the world and to others to satisfy our desire of who we need them to be and who we want them to be. We don't allow people to be who they actually are. We miss them. We don't let a daffodil be a daffodil. We don't let a drooping daffodil be as completely alive as an upright and sprightly daffodil. When we live like this, we live in the illusion of being separate from the world and being separate from each other. We are close with circumstances only when they meet our desire or seem to promise us some kind of fulfillment on our own terms. And when they disappoint, we move away, try a different tact, and distance ourselves. We can be surrounded by a community of love, surrounded by the promise of new life, and we can miss it. We settle for being near, not with. But today is a new day. Even if we've lived our entire life satisfied or habituated to being near life, near other people, near ourselves, new life gives us the chance to try something different. With new life comes the promise of a new way of looking at our life, a new way of looking at our relationship with other people, a new way of experiencing our life. And it doesn't take very long. It can only take a moment, a breath, an exhalation. We get to notice we are completely alive, completely here, no matter what state we're in at this moment. And if we're completely alive, that means everyone else is too, no matter what state they're in. And when we allow ourselves to feel this in our body, I think we feel what Jesus of Nazareth felt, a feeling that has survived his death and it is still alive today. The feeling of solidarity. That for me is the true resurrection. The feeling of solidarity. I am with you, all of you in this life, and I am so grateful for all of you. I know you're doing your best to get through your days the best way you know how. And no matter what you think of yourself, you are beautiful. You are a child of God. You are completely alive, completely here. I wish you joy on this day. I wish you the opportunity to be grateful for your life. I wish you love on this day. Even if you don't feel any of these things at this moment, that's okay. You are completely alive right now. And the way you are alive now will change, and you will be alive in a different way. That is the promise of new life. That is why a new day is so hopeful. We don't know what this day will be. We don't know who we will be. And we get the opportunity to begin again. Life goes on like that. And so do we. I hope you are able to enjoy and appreciate the beauty of this season. I hope you know you have a community of people here, a community of friendship here that is prepared to live with you, not just near you. Many of you I know are not near me physically. You live in other cities, other states, a few in other countries. But distance doesn't really matter in the scheme of things, as we're finding out during this time. You can be anywhere, and I will be with you. I will be with you in Fallujah. I will be with you in Darfur. I will be with you in Washington, D.C. I will be with you in New York City. I will be with you in rural hamlets and villages. I will be with you in the southern United States. I will be with you in Youngstown, Ohio. That is a promise. It's a promise that it's impossible to break because it's actually how things are. It seems to be embedded into our very being, embedded into existence, embedded into this moment. I don't pretend to understand it, but when I allow myself to notice it, my life gets to be what it's been all along, but I never knew it. I get to live with you, not near you. I allow you to be with me. Jesus said to a criminal that was next to him during the crucifixion, "This day you will be with me in paradise." That is the promise. This day, you will be with me in paradise. Even in trying times, this day, you will be with me in paradise. This day is a paradise when we are with each other. I hope you can open up to paradise on this day. The paradise that is made known when we are with each other and allow ourselves to feel that. This day is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day to remember who and what we love, and that includes ourselves. It is a good day to remember that there is no end to being with each other, kept alive in memory, kept alive in our hearts, kept alive in our kindness toward ourselves and each other. It is a gift to lift each other up when we're down and to celebrate the day we are given with each other. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, we wish blessings on all the people of the earth. We wish blessings on those who are gathering with loved ones to celebrate a beautiful time of year. We bless Christians throughout the world. We bless Muslims, Buddhists, people of all religious faith and no faith on this weekend. We offer a blessing to those who are struggling, who are feeling alone and down and cast out. And we are grateful for the embodiment of Jesus of Nazareth, who showed one example of compassion, especially for those who feel left out. May we do likewise. Amen.
The road is long, with many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where. But I'm strong love to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he would not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm laden at all, I'm laden with the sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on the way there, why not share? And the load doesn't weigh me down at all. No, 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 no. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again.
Please remember the one great fact. You are loved and never truly alone.
way of the Lord. Prepare ye the 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 way of the Lord.
And now we'll go into a breakout session